The Panthers just gave a major update on one of their fourth liners who has been missing in action since October 25th. I'll have an update on what has happened to him in just a moment. But Brad Marchand and that first line has been rolling. And what is Bill Zito going to do now that he has another player that's going to be missing significant time due to injury and needing surgery for that injury? Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest. I'm your host, Greg Andrews. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. You guys need to stay up to date with anything and everything that has to do with your back-to-back Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. And keep hitting that subscribe button, guys. Thank you all so much for your support. Remember, we're going to try to outdo Oilers Digest, Leafs Digest, Lightning Digest, all of the other YouTube channels that are out there. Let's beat them, guys. Let's show them that this channel is so much bigger than theirs and better because you guys are the best fans out there in the NHL. So, the big bad news is that the battle of attrition that this team has been facing this season and during the preseason, well, it's now a war of attrition. We now have 5 players that are going to be missing significant time. And this one, although he is a fourth line player and it might not be the most monumental of injuries that has massive, massive consequences for this team, he is still a very vital player. He contributed a lot in the playoffs last season. We're just going to jump right into this. Here we go. Well, Jonah Gajivic, he is going to be missing 3 months at least. He's going to be having surgery. I think yesterday was the day or the day before. Unfortunately, he is out for 3 months. They're just saying it's an upper body injury. We don't know exactly what it is, but he will be out for 3 months. The injury happened during the 3-0 win versus Las Vegas on October 25th. So I think surgery is going to be planned at sometime this week, actually, now that I'm looking at my notes. Don't know exactly when that will be, but it is going to be scheduled for sometime this week. According to Paul Maurice, he says that he's going to be having surgery next Tuesday. That means in a couple of days for the injury sustained in the Vegas game, and it's a 3-month recovery. So unfortunate for the Cats having to deal with another long-term injury. So when you really think about this, they're down 5 players right now. So if you really want to think of things, they have one line. That is that Marchand, Lustrainen, and Lundell line that is from last season that is still intact. Everything else has just been thrown all over the place, mixing and matching guys, seeing what is working and what is not working. And Paul Maurice is doing the best with the roster that he has. And I'm going to give you guys a quote in just a second from Darren Dreger, who is really trying to throw something out there in terms of what will Bill Zito do. And I'm going to show you guys that right now. So here we go. He said, "I don't think that Bill Zito is in such a position of panic by any stretch of the imagination, but if he gets the sense that this team needs an injection, Zito's going to find a way to get that done." So we obviously know the Cats have been struggling this season. Is it, like I said, is it panic time? Like immense panic time? No. Is the meter starting to move up a little bit more? Yes. They're 2-6 on the road this season with last night's loss in San Jose. We'll get into that in just a few seconds. But I just want to touch on the fact that what we're seeing from this Cats team on the road has been an issue. They're not able to really produce a whole lot on offense. Yes, I know their last game went very well. The offense looks great. They went back to simpler hockey, and it worked. But it's not working for every team they're playing against. It's these younger, faster, more energetic teams seem to be outplaying us, even though the numbers from last night, the stat lines would say otherwise about this team, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. But anyways, the big breaking news that, not massive implications, but it's going to have an effect on this team because Gajivic is an enforcer. He does put up some decent numbers, even being a fourth line player. He injects energy into this team. He plays real hard, especially on the forecheck. He has been great out there. He is a solid two-way player. Even though he only plays 8 or 9 minutes a game, it's still an effective 8 or 9 minutes when he's on the ice. And like I said, he'll stand up for his teammates. And man, he doesn't care about throwing his body around and throwing that weight and getting a big hit on the ice. So he is going to be sorely missed. That means Gregor and Cunnin have to really step up bigger now, and Gregor hasn't done much so far. Kunin's done a little bit there, If you guys want to look up their stats, go ahead, be my guest. But that's not what this episode is about. So Gajivic out for the next 3 months. It is very, very unfortunate. And as of right now, actually, the stats, I can give it to you right now. They just popped up for me. In 10 games, Cunnin has an assist, 16 hits, and 12 block shots. Gregor, he has 6 shots and 4 hits so far. So not a whole lot for him. We will see what happens moving forward with this Cats team on that fourth line. Maybe Bill Zito decides to make a move in the next couple of weeks because of this injury and tries to get something happening on that fourth line, who just really haven't done a whole lot of producing so far this season. So let's go right back into this. So Celebrini, an unreal player, 19 years old. I think he's either leading the league or he's tied for points so far this season. Kid has got some talent, and he's going to be on the San Jose Sharks for a long time doing some great things. I mean, 10 goals at 19 years old in the NHL is unreal. So I'm not here to push him up. I'm here to talk about the Cats. So let's go, guys. Unfortunately, Daniil Tarasov is still searching for that first win of the season. He's just not really getting a lot of help from his guys on offense. But the one shining light here, which I'll tell you in a second after we go over these stat lines, well, there is one very bright spot for this team right now, and I think we all know what it is, and I'll tell you in a minute. So we outshot, we outhit, we did better in the face-off circle, power play opportunities. Well, we had a bunch of them. We're not able to capitalize even on a very short 5-on-3 power play. We actually had a very, very good chance when that 5-on-3 ended and went to 5-on-4. There was a phenomenal opportunity there. Lundy and Louis Drainin and Marchand have been outstanding as usual. Marchand is on a roll. 7-game point streak right now, which has tied a Panthers record. So he is rolling 10 goals on the season. That line has just been nothing short of absolutely spectacular. So he's still playing great. And I just, it's hard to watch this team at times because, like they're putting shots on net. Last night, they controlled the puck really well. They had a lot of energy, especially, like I said, with that first line out there. They were controlling the puck, especially where we had some of those pucks just kind of being free, like just those open chance opportunities to get a loose puck. We were on it. We were moving. Lots of opportunities. I'll show you guys the highlights after these stats. Again, giveaways are killing us once again. There was a high stick there, though. That second goal by the San Jose Sharks looked like it may have been a high stick. I know Paul Maurice was yapping at the refs about it. They were checking on their iPads and on the TV monitors down below if it really was a high stick. I mean, it was close, guys. But I don't think Paul Maurice said, hey, it's worth the risk for us to try to see if we can get that goal disallowed for a high stick, as it was deflected in the back of the net, went under Tarasov's arm, unfortunately. But he didn't want to take the risk and give up a 2-minute power play. I get it. Unfortunately, that was the winning goal for them. Yes, the empty netter. I get it. But, hey, we're not going to be talking about that. But the power play, has to do better. Our penalty kill was pretty solid last night. But they've got some things that they need to take care of. Some questions need to be answered. Some movement maybe on some of these lines. I mean, they might need to inject a little bit of something into that fourth line to get that moving and maybe get the energy back up for this team. This West Coast road trip, like I said, it's a tough one. We had the Kings number the other night, and it was great. They looked awesome. It carried over if you do look at the numbers here and you do look at the eye test at certain points. Reinhart had a good game, 7 shots in total on net, which was great, but just not enough. Not enough. Again, great opportunities. Let's get into that right now. I'm going to show you guys exactly what we're looking at. So right here, great setup. We had 3 guys going over the blue line at the same exact time. Pretty much, if you want to call it, almost a 3-on-2 or 3-on-2.5, if you will. But really good puck movement. Now the always dangerous Sam Reinhart. And just a good stop. Again, it's right at the goaltender. Askarov had a great game. 974 save percentage. 38 saves on the night. Just an unbelievable game for him. But again, we're shooting the puck at the goaltender. That's a problem. So let's keep moving forward here. So one of the big problems in this game was Ekblad. This was just, I don't know if the puck just bounced over his stick, if it was just completely misplayed it and knew that the San Jose player was behind him, was probably going to check him into the boards, put a body on him, work their forecheck, whatever it was. I don't know what he was thinking, but this was the result of Ekblad's play right there. Kind of lackadaisical in the corner, not really keeping his eyes on the puck, and I think a big mistake on him. And I'm not going to say he's the reason why we lost. No, it's a team effort all around. Offensively, not putting the puck in the open areas, cross ice passes, not enough. Again, it's the same kind of thing we're seeing in every single game where they are losing. It's just not finding those open spaces for their guys to get open shots on the net. They usually move the puck so well going across the ice to make sure that they're pretty much getting like a half open net or a completely open net. So let's keep going here. You can see all of the Panthers players are stuck on the top circle. Not good. Watch this. This was where I thought a high stick that was the deflection going to the back of the net. Here we go. Watch a stick right there. Look at how high his stick is. It's borderline right at the crossbar, maybe a little above. I mean, you could argue for it. You could argue against it. Paul Maurice and the referees obviously said it was a goal. Paul Maurice, I didn't want to take the chance. Don't give up the power play. Don't give them a power play, excuse me. And yeah, not a good idea, because this is what will happen, guys. Very simple. They call it a goal. Then we get a penalty. They're up a man. And it could have been technically a 3-0 game had that happen. So Paul Maurice, I say bravo not to let that happen, because in the back of his mind, I think he was saying, I don't think it's worth the risk. It wasn't that blatantly obvious that his stick was that high above the crossbar. So let's keep going here. Hit the back of the net, and here we go. This was Brad Marchand's goal, his 10th of the season. You see our three guys in the corner really working the forecheck there, trying to get that puck out there. Brad Marchand controls. Great movement here. Throws it on net. Big rebound that comes back there. You see it behind. Comes right in front of the net. Great gratuitous bounce for the Cats. And wide open net. Marshy puts it in the back. Great movement here. Unfortunate deflection, or not deflection, but rebound opportunity that just got out in front right there. And Gregor, unfortunately, wasn't able to get his stick on that. It just deflected a little bit too wide from his stick. Here was a great opportunity. The Cats passed unbelievably here. The beautiful passing. Watch this. Boom. Middle. Right on net. But again, trying to look for that 5-hole. It deflected up. Marshy did get his paw on that one to knock it down and try to put it in the net. But a great job by the defender to get his body in front of that and deflect that puck out. And didn't go to the back of the net, unfortunately. And here we go. Another great opportunity. There was Rhino. Almost got that one in there. But once again, great opportunities. Here's another one. I mean, opportunities are there. The Cats are not having any issues generating scoring chances. They're just not able to put the puck in the back of the net. They're still hitting the goaltenders right in the crest or right on the pad. So unfortunate, yes. Very close game. I think we should have had that one, but again, that critical high stick, maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but hey, it's an L. And right now we are sitting, once again, in the bottom of the division, second to last place in front of the Buffalo Sabres. Right now we are 7 points out of first in the Atlantic Division, only 3 points out of the wild card right now. So again, not a panic moment. The Cats could pull this together. They're going to have a good homestand coming up after their next game against the Vegas Golden Knights. And that's going to be a big game coming up in a day. So hopefully if they could pull out a W there and go 2-2 on this road trip, that would be tremendous. Put a couple points into that Atlantic Division standings and move them up again. Just keep them in that race. I mean, everything's pretty much for playoff positioning, wild card even. There are teams within 3-4 points of one another. So, yeah, I know it's early. A lot of hockey still left to be played. But if they lose and they keep faltering, how far down is Bill Zito willing to let this team go until he's like, okay, we've got to make a move. We got to do something. We can't keep waiting for Tkachuk to come back in December. And then maybe not make the playoffs. And then we get Barkov back. So, let's keep rolling here, guys. All right, back to this. Once again, Brad Marchand just unreal, man. Marchand in his last 6 games, 7 goals, 1 assist, a +2, ±8 points in total. Just unreal. At 37 years old, being able to do this is just remarkable. 4 points away from 1,000 points in his career. Bravo to him, man. He is the bright shining spot, as well as his line of Luosterainen and Lundell. Those guys in the last 3 games have 6 goals, 3 assists, +2 plus-minus rating, and 9 points in total. So they are firing on all cylinders. Don't mess anything up there. That line's going to stay right where they are. So there's the line from last night. Great numbers there. Sam Reinhart, like I said, with those 7 shots, big time. Mackie Samoskevich is still trying to set up his teammates. You see him doing a lot of movement. When he got that high stick, he was a little apprehensive about making a pass. Unfortunately, the good news, bad news is, yeah, he took a high stick to the face, a pretty nasty one. He didn't get any blood, but he drew the penalty. That led to the 5-on-3 opportunity for about, I think it was 10 or 11 seconds, somewhere around there, but we weren't able to capitalize. But when we look at this, I want you guys to look at the time on ice. What's the one thing that stands out here? And, well, it's Anton Lundell's 21.5 minutes on the ice. It's Brad Marchand's 20 minutes and 49 seconds on the ice. Reinhart's 21 minutes on the ice. Those guys are playing so much. One thing I got to say is, how long can you let these guys go playing that amount of time on the ice before you need to say, all right, we got to kind of cut it down just a little bit? Again, this is not a battle of attrition for this team anymore. It's a war of attrition. 5 guys are out. Each one of them has needed surgery. We can't take another one, especially a big name player on that first line, to go down. I mean, Lundell, Luosterainen, I don't think it's a huge risk if we play them more. But Brad Marchand at 37 years old, I think they need to be a little more cautious. Don't put him out there too much. I mean, he had that run-in with the referee. Thank goodness he was okay. I mean, he laid down for about 3 seconds, and I was like, oh my God, no, he's not injured. Please tell me he's not. So good. He's all right. He went back into the game. Thank goodness, but great job by him. Great job by that first line. Defenseman, good game. Nico Mikkola had a very solid game, even though he had a -1 rating, -1 plus-minus rating. He had 4 shots, 3 block shots. I mean, it was a good overall game. And again, Sebrango, I really like the way he's been playing. He's 100 miles an hour out there. He's making good plays on the puck. Great job on the back check. Great job on the forward check. Two-way play has been fantastic. Not as many shots this game, because I don't think the opportunities were really there. But, man, he's been doing a stellar job. And I think Bill Zito did something, again, that he's done so frequently in the last 4 seasons, which is finding those guys that are free agents or claimed off of waivers that are these diamonds in the rough. He could be one of those players, guys. Give it some time. I can tell you right now, I can see a goal happening in the next couple of games for him, because he's playing lights out. Not on an offensive standpoint, really, but defensively, he's making very good decisions. That's what I really like about him. And I think he's helping Petrie as well with his play. So that line, that defensive pairing has been very, very good for the Cats. And so these are the standings right now. Like I said, 3 points out of the wild card right now. Not a big deal. A lot of games to be played. We're only 15 games into the season, but 7 games out of first in the Atlantic Division, 5 games out of second, only 3 out of third. So we could, if Tampa starts losing, which they're looking pretty good. They're starting to get their act together and looking more cohesive. Same thing with Boston and Montreal. Let's see how long they can keep this up. I mean, they're playing really solid hockey right now. But, things to worry about, yes and no. But let's get into some of these graphics. Like I said, guys. So what does Brad Marchand have to say about the Panthers' play last night? Well, he says, if we continue to play that way, we're hard on pucks, hard on D, really good on the forecheck, not just next game, but consistently, we're going to be the team we expect to be. I agree. I think things are starting to come together. Their play was very solid. In the first period, yes and no. Second and third, they dominated. They dominated the game. I think they outshot in the second period. I think the San Jose Sharks only had like 2 or 3 shots, and it was pretty much a mirror image in the third period. They didn't allow a lot of shots on net. So they're playing solid. They just can't get the puck in the back of the net for some reason. They're just unable to do so. And here's Carter Verhaeghe on Daniil Tarasov's play. I know the team feels bad because they want him to get his first win as a Florida Panther. He said he's been awesome. It's been unfortunate that the last couple we haven't been able to get the results for him. I think he's due. I think it's going to happen in the next week. And I know Bob's probably need more of a rest, but I mean, Daniil Tarasov is playing great. He's not had any lackluster moments or these kind of, that just slip up moments that can happen with goaltenders. He has been very solid. He's made some big stops in every game that he's played this season. Just unfortunately, team has not been able to come away with the W because they're not able to capitalize offensively. So here we go. Paul Maurice on Brad Marchand's play. Lots of chances, lots of creativity. Obviously, he plays a very consistent, energetic game, and we can model ourselves after that. And I hope the Cats do. If they can step up their game and do a little bit of what Marchand and his line is doing, then the Cats are going to start winning a lot more games to be very, very consistent, probably string together a few wins. When they're at home, when they have this homestand coming up, there are some tough teams they're going to be playing against. A lot of guys that are at the top of their division or damn near close to it, and a couple of games that are against teams that are in the middle of the pack, and I think there's one against bottom feeders. Is there a chance for us to climb back up in the division? Absolutely. And I think that's where Bill Zito is going to say, let's see what happens after this, leading into the homestand. When we get to about 20 games, 21, about a quarter of the way through the season, let's see where we are in our division, in the wild card hunt, and with our goal differential as well. Right now we're -6. We have 40 goals for, 46 goals against. So yeah, things are tough right now for the Cats. Is it panic mode? Not exactly. Is the panic meter starting to move? Yes, I do believe that it is. So one of the things I want to say, the Panthers now sit at 7-7-1. They're 1-2 on this road trip. Sorry, 1-2-0 on this road trip. Obviously, Paul Maurice has said, we generate enough to win the game, but we didn't. Pretty quintessential Paul Maurice. I was looking for some fancy quote that he usually throws out there for everybody that eats it up, but that didn't happen. Macklin Celebrini was amazing in that game last night. I mean, just a lights out player. He's got tons of talent. I told you guys, you got to watch out for him because he has just been unbelievably consistent in every game that he has played so far this season. Just what a pickup by them in the draft, and what a young talent. And he's going to be there for probably 2 decades, I would say. Unbelievable. So, Brad Marchand, 10th goal in 14 games. That ties his career best for fewest games to the mark at 2019 is 2019-2020 season. So that's big numbers right there. So he is playing not at a 37-year-old. He's playing like he's 27. Unbelievable. You have to excuse my son in the background. I don't know what's going on there. And the strong second period. These are the numbers I wanted to show you. They outshot the Sharks 20-3 in the second period, guys. 80% offensive efficiency rating, or 80% advantage on offense, excuse me. They dominated the play with outshooting the Sharks again in the third, 10-2, while on 5-on-5s. Sorry, that's the whole game. They dominated the play there. I mean, they've always been dominating on 5-on-5 usually, but not capitalizing on our power plays again. It's really been hurting us, and I just don't know really what can happen with this team in terms of trying to find the back of the net. What's going to have to happen? How are they going to be able to move the puck a little bit better? I keep saying this. What we saw from the San Jose Sharks, what we've seen from the other teams that have had our number in the last couple of weeks, it's movement around the puck and movement with it. The Sharks last night were zipping all over the place when they had the puck in their offensive zone, and wherever the puck was, guys were moving all over the place around the net. And that is what is confusing the defense. We like to do a lot of man-on-man right now. Not really playing this kind of zone, we're not really doing that. We're trying to play man-on-man, and it's the scramble that they are creating, some of these teams, is creating a lot of confusion for us, and it's leading to these scoring opportunities. And for our penalty kill, we're just out of position. It's plain and simple. We're leaving the back door open for other teams, and that's where they're capitalizing. We're seeing it time and time again. If you go back and look at some of these videos I've done, and look at the tape, when we're on our penalty kill, Crosby got us. I can't remember who else has got it, but Crosby nailed it on us. Several different teams have done this to us. I can't remember who they were. You'll have to excuse me on that. But if you go back, it's been very consistent for other teams just to cross ice pass when we're down a man, hit that back door. It doesn't matter if Bobrovsky or Tarasov's in there. They can't go from that that near side post to the far side post fast enough. and that's been killing us. Same thing with the odd man rushes and the breakaways last night. We didn't really see a lot of that, thank goodness. But anyways, so Carter Verhaeghe, we control most of the play, but we want more of that. If they can control most of the play in these games, I think they'll come away with the W's. Big game tomorrow night against the Vegas Golden Knights. That one, I would say, is going to be, hopefully we could have their number like we did earlier in the season. We'll see what happens. And then Brad Marchand, we had plenty of chances to capitalize, but that's how it goes sometimes. I mean, I'm glad these guys are kind of keeping their chin up and not giving these really down in the dumps quotes. I mean, they're keeping their heads up. They're trying to remain optimistic. I think they know where they sit right now. They know what's happening with their team. They understand the position that they're in, and they're playing the best hockey they can try to play right now, being down pretty much five main roster guys. Like I said, you have one line that remains intact from last season. Everything else is just upheaval. So we'll see what happens. And some other stats, Anton Lindell led all forwards with 21-28 time on ice, like I said. Sam Reinhart led the team with 7 shots. Eetu Luostarinen had 4 hits. And here's a huge stat. Gustav Forsling had a 100-mile-an-hour shot last night. That's per NHL stats. Wow, can we get more of that from him? My goodness. But anyways, Cats didn't win last night. Just told you everything where they stand in the division. Jonah Gajivic is out for 3 months, having surgery this Tuesday. Unfortunate situation for the Cats. Let's see what happens. Hopefully they can pull out the W tomorrow and go 2-2 and 0 on this road trip and just put 2 points in that points column and just climb up the standings a little bit and just remain very close in that hunt right now for the wild card. I know it's early. Anything can happen right now. It's a long season, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing what Paul Maurice has in store tomorrow night. I'm sure we'll see Bobrovsky back. So let's go, guys, and let's hope Sabringo gets that first goal, man. I can guarantee you. I'm not going to guarantee you, but I'm going to say I'm pretty confident he's going to get that goal because I feel like he's due. If he just throws him at the net, I think one is going to end up hitting the twine, and he's going to get that first goal as a Florida Panther. Anyways, guys, again, thank you all so much for your support. I do appreciate it. Remember, subscribe, comment, like, share. Please be respectful to me and to those who are also commenting out there. And if you have any questions, comments, you want me to do some more research on something in particular, I'll do it, okay? Just ask and you shall receive. Again, thank you all so much. Enjoy your Sunday. If you're watching football, hope your team wins. I'm not going to say anything about the Miami Dolphins because we already know what's going on there. Anyways, guys, enjoy your Sunday and go Cats.